Well, all right. Back on YouTube. It feels like it's been forever, man. If you can't tell from my welcome home daddy sign that my daughter made me, I'm back home from tour. Just finished off the European leg of this year's techno tour with Electric Callboy. And now we're back live on Twitch. Hello, chat. Welcome. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things that have happened since I've been on the road. And the big thing I want to talk about today is how, once again, I'm right. I'm so tired of being right all the time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that arrogant. A few months ago, I made a joke when Sepultura announced their farewell tour. I was like, oh, there you go. Like, Aloy is joining Slipknot, and like, you know, we brought out the tinfoil hat and stuff, but dude, I'm thinking that is not a far stretch now considering all the information we have. And I want to talk about that today because not only are we still wondering who the new drummer for Slipknot is going to be, but we've had a lot of other announcements and stuff going on. And it appears as though if the information is correct, there has been a three-way trade in the metal world for drummers, which is mind-blowing to me. But before we really dive in here, I just want to take the next minute or so to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Rocket Money. When I'm on tour, I have so little time or even desire to do anything else that it's kind of hard for me to keep track of my personal finances. And I'm sure for a lot of you guys with today's hectic schedules, you don't really have a lot of time to keep track of your spending. Well, Rocket Money is here to help. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that actually lets you save more and manage your money better. And for somebody like me, it actually kind of makes it fun. The app is really cool, really easy to use, and has a lot of amazing features. Even aside from the simple stuff like keeping track of your credit score and all that, it also has some other stuff that lets you cancel unwanted subscriptions, like that you may not know you have. It happened to me. I had 2 streaming services that I didn't know I was paying for twice, and at the click of a button, I was able to cancel it. You can also make custom budgets and set up smart savings, and they can even work to lower your bills for you, believe it or not. They even did that for me. They were able to take my phone bill and my home internet bill and get that price lowered monthly, which was as easy as clicking a few buttons. So if you want to save more and spend less, you can get started for free and join myself and the over 5 million other members using Rocket Money by going to rocketmoney.com/TankTheTech. Or if you want to keep it simple, you can just click the link in the description or in the pinned comment of this video. So thank you to everybody for watching this part of the video. Thank you so very much to Rocket Money for not only sponsoring the video, but for also creating a great tool for me to manage my money better. And one more time, that's rocketmoney.com/TankTheTech to get started for free and get some control over your personal finances. And now, back to the video. So quick story recap. A few months ago, it was announced that Jay Weinberg had been kicked out of Slipknot. I think before Jay Weinberg even knew he was kicked out of Slipknot, which is a whole different thing to talk about. Then we were speculating on who the new drummer would be. One of my big mentions was Aloy Casagrande from Sepultura. And then Sepultura announced that they were going to be having a farewell tour. And I was like, okay, well, Eloy's young. He wants to keep going, so he could be a good replacement for Slipknot. And then in the last couple days, now we have found out Eloy has announced that he's leaving leaving Sepultura immediately, not doing the farewell tour, to join a band that he can't talk about yet. And then it was announced that Sepultura already has a new drummer, and it is Grayson from Suicidal Tendencies. He is now in Sepultura, and now Jay Weinberg has been announced as the new drummer for Suicidal Tendencies. So it's wild. Like it's like, you know, right now watching all the trade deadline stuff with the NHL, you see 3-way trades happening all the time. Like this is like what's happening right now. It's like, if we believe that Eloy going to Slipknot is accurate, Slipknot's drummer went to Suicidal Tendencies. Suicidal Tendencies drummer went to Sepultura, and Sepultura's drummer is going to Slipknot. Crazy. But a lot of people are still doubtful about Eloy joining Slipknot. There were a lot of people that are like, why would he do that? He's already playing with Sepultura. And like, Sepultura is legendary. Yeah, true. But for a young drummer as good as Eloy, like Slipknot is a huge gig, dude. And we've seen him play Slipknot playthroughs on his YouTube channel, and he slams them. I would say he's one of the best metal drummers in the industry right now, in my opinion. So, you know, even with all the drama aside from Slipknot, people always ask, they're like, why would musicians join Slipknot with all the stuff that's going on? And I mean, it's the same reason that's happened with lots of bands. Like, I'll give you a good example. Puddle of Mudd, if you guys remember them. For 10 years, over 10 years now, probably 15, it's been known that Wes Scantlin, the singer for Puddle of Mudd, is an absolute raging psychotic animal. And they've had tons of band turnover. Like, he's had like 40 different band members in the last 15 years, but he never has a hard time finding them because people always feel like maybe they can get their big break with a name that used to be big. So they'll join the band hoping to get their name out. Same with Trapped, dude. Trapped has had like multiple different band members in the last 15 years and people keep joining because, you know, they had that, you know, Headstrong, you know, and it's a notable name. So Slipknot is a little different because Slipknot is still a massive name, one of the biggest metal names in the world. So I actually think it would be kind of ridiculous if anybody turned down that gig if it was offered, to be honest. I mean, put that on your resume, that's ridiculous. So considering the fact that Aloy likes Slipknot and has admitted to liking Slipknot and has played their songs, if they gave him that offer, I bet it's him. And one of the things that I want to bring up, this is the good old insider information from working in the touring industry. I will not reveal names because I was told that I couldn't. And this is not confirmation. This is just like kind of some stuff conversations that were had on the road. But at one of our shows on tour recently, I met up with somebody backstage that works in the music industry and in some capacity works around Slipknot. And we were kind of talking about the situation and I was like, do they have somebody already? And this person told me yes. And I was like, well, I'm not going to like dig, like, cause they know my YouTube channel. I was like, I'm not going to grab you for information. Like, you don't have to tell me who it is, but like, just out of curiosity, is it like, if people find out who it is, are they going to know the name immediately? And this person was like, oh yeah, like 100%. They're like, everybody in metal will know this name. So that right there told me, okay, it's like, that's leaning me towards Aloy again. And then, one of the other things I heard from somebody else that does have some connection to Slipknot was they also told me they're not going to tell me who it is, but they said it is one of the names that I brought up in my original video. So if we look back to my original video, who did I bring up? Remind me. Jeremy Kling. I don't think that's happening, actually. I think that was a joke that got taken out of control that was partially fueled by me. I actually talked to Jeremy about that a little and he thought it was hilarious. But we talked about Ellis Tapario. I don't think that's happening because Ellis Tapario just released his first single with his new band that he started. We talked about Aloy. We talked about Simon, Clown's Kid. I think that could still be on the table, but considering that this person told me it's a huge name that everybody knows, I don't think Simon's a name that everybody knows. And I also brought up Krim, if I remember right. But Krim is now drumming for Doth. And God, that's probably my most anticipated album right now. If you guys aren't fans of Doth, dude, just stop what you're doing. We'll finish this video first and go listen to their new stuff because holy shit. So logically right now, I think just if we're gonna use our big brains here, I think the only logical ones from the stuff I've picked out are Aloy and Simon. But considering that somebody told me the name would be instantly recognizable, I think it's Aloy. I think it is. And here's the thing. He's such a popular drummer that even though they're not going to announce his name and they're going to put him in a mask and a jumpsuit and stuff, like his style, dude, people will know immediately. From the first 5 seconds, if he plays with that band, people are going to know immediately, like it's him. So while we don't have 100% confirmation at this point in time, I think I do think it's reasonable to say with like 99.9% accuracy, it's going to be Aloy. And the funny thing was, I just said it's not like they're going to announce him. What if they did? Slipknot's never done that with a new member, right? Could Aloy be big enough that Slipknot would actually make an announcement before he plays and say, hey, our new drummer is Aloy? That would be wild. But what if it's something what if we're just like, we're purposely being like led down the wrong path? This person told me the name is instantly recognizable, but what if it's not Aloy? Who else would be instantly recognizable? And stop saying fucking Lars, or it's not going to be Lars. You know what I mean? Like Lombardo? I don't know. I'm trying to think of any other names in the metal world that would be up to the chops like that. And, I don't know. I'm seeing some names in chat, like, I'm not taking Ringo or Tommy Lee seriously. Travis Barker, no. David Silveria, no. Is David from like the ex-drummer from Korn? Is he even playing anymore? Everybody's naming like fucking ridiculous shit. Mike Mangini is free right now. That would be wild. No, I legitimately think it's gonna, I would, dude, if it's not Eloy, I will shave my beard off. Like, that's how confident I am. And again, I have not been told it is. I've just been told the things I told you. Like, it's crazy, dude, because like this whole thing has made me think about this the last couple days. And the last point that I want to leave off is like, because of this like 3-way trade thing, could you fucking imagine if bands were like sports teams? I mean, this would require a lot of stupid corporate nonsense, but like, could you imagine if bands just like literally traded and had contracts with their members and shit? It's like they could become free agents and shit. Like, I'm imagining a discussion behind the scenes of like Slipknot, Sepultura, and like Suicidal Tendencies all talking to each other in a Zoom call being like, okay, you give us Jay, we'll give you Grayson, and you get Eloy. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, there's a salary cap. There's a salary cap on contracts for musicians. Bass players would get a max contract to like 10 grand a year. That's it. That would be wild. Could we possibly start that? Just my voice just did something weird. Could we start a fantasy league for metal bands? Does anybody out here know how to code or do anything like that? Could we start a fantasy league for metal bands and like do drafts and shit? Rated on what? Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know what would we rate them on? I don't know, like good press and bad press. It's like, hey, this band just sold out a tour. Everybody gets 10 points that has them on their fantasy team. Or, hey, this metalcore singer just beat the shit out of his girlfriend, minus 50 points, you know? Sorry, I could not resist on that one. Yeah, who doesn't get canceled? Exactly. It's like, if somebody gets canceled, it's like, well, that's negative 100 points on your fantasy team. Or if they get kicked out of the band, then I don't know. We need to think about how to do this. Yeah, I'm already thinking of like band members in my head who I would draft like 7th round last pick. Oh, man. Well, either way, I think whatever happens is I find it fascinating that a lot of us are so invested in this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to sound superior because obviously I'm invested in it too. I'm talking about it. I find it wild. Like the music industry just works in such a weird way that it's like, it's wild seeing all these band members change and stuff like that. And you really realize you're starting to like a lot of these bands, especially bands that have been around for like 25 years now in the metal scene. They're starting to become like products at this point rather than just bands. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's interchangeable. There are so many bands out there right now that don't even have original lineups anymore. I mean, some of their members have been there forever, but like I'll use them as an example, and I hate to because I love this band, but like In Flames, dude. On a technicality, In Flames has no original members left, even though Anders and Bjorn have been there for 30 years now. Lorna Shore, also a good example. On a well, not even on a technicality, just they literally have no founding members left. But we've had this conversation a lot. It's like, there may be no founding members, but I still consider some of them original. Like to me, like, especially in the topic of like In Flames, like Anders and Bjorn are absolutely originals to me. They've been there from damn near the beginning, even though they weren't founding members. And it's crazy. Some of these bands are the best they've ever been. Like, I'll tell you right now, like Lorna Shore in chat as the example. Lorna Shore's lineup right now that they have in 2024 that they've had last year too. This is the lineup that they will be remembered by. You know, we have a lot of those lineups with bands that everybody remembers the one lineup, even though they've had a long career. Like for me, the In Flames lineup was like Anders, Bjorn, Jesper, Peter, and Daniel. Like that's like the OG In Flames lineup to me, even though over the years they've had tons of changes. And they only have 2 of those people left. Are we having a metal ship of Theseus conversation right now? I don't know, dude. Like, I'm getting off on a tangent, so we'll wrap this one up for sure. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I do think that Eloy is going to be the drummer for Slipknot. I'd be absolutely baffled and blown away if it didn't happen at this point with all the things we've seen and the information we know and stuff. But let me know your thoughts in the chat or in the comments. I mean, if you think there is somebody else that could possibly be that potential, let's talk about it. To be interesting. But that's going to wrap it up. Everybody on chat and Twitch, thank you for being here live. I appreciate it. But to everybody on YouTube later, thank you for watching. This is my first video back from tour in over a month, so it's probably not up to my standard quality. Or it is, and it's just trash anyways. But I don't know. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Wherever you are in the world, be safe, be kind to each other. I love you all, and I will be back very soon.